I know what you're thinking. Why is your desk full of shit? Well, here's what it comes down to. The person who loaned me this Basslet wants it back, and it's time. I gotta sort of rush. I've used it. I know about it, but I gotta get it done. And I don't know if this is worth its own review. Now, he sent it to me. I looked up what it was, and I forgot the price. So when I went to check, because I always bring up the link before I do, I'm like, well, Amazon's got one, $200. Please, 0 positive reviews in the last 12 months. Okay, obviously that's the wrong price. Okay, so here's the Kickstarter, where it earned 12 times what they wanted. They wanted 50,000 euros. They got 600,000 euros. And it's basically a portable subwoofer for your body, and it does all these things, and you put it on your wrist, and it shakes when you do a thing. Okay, let's keep looking. Yeah, you could buy it directly. It's $200 free shipping. It's $200. It's $200. It's $200. So, I'll tell you what it is. It's very ingenious the way it's put together. I'll give them that. Did this stay on or did it die? I might have shut off. The way it works is when you get it, you get a different strap. Here's the case. You can change the strap to a shorter strap if you want. It's a watch. It's a wristwatch, sort of, except it doesn't tell you the time. It would be worth more if it told you the time. I'm going to put that out there. But magnetized to this, plug a USB micro into that, and that charges this. And then this becomes your pass-through. So you take your source of choice, and it's got 4-pole, so it can pass through 4-pole. So right now, what's happening is that I'm going to play these lovely, wonderful B&O H6s, and I'm going to link to everything on this stupid table after the review. And so let's see, screen on. It's just playing through right now. Nothing to talk right on about. I have to lower that so I can concentrate. Hold this button. Trying to think of a way to demonstrate, but it's basically taking the signal just like you would in a pass-through on a subwoofer, and it's sending it here wirelessly. So it's I was never good at this. So can I get better right this moment on camera? There we go. Now, these are contacts for charging. One is a power button, and when you're temporarily pushing them, they are also an intensity adjuster. Look, there's good tech in this. It's just that I don't know how well. Let's put up to maximum. I want. Yeah, that's. Hold on. I don't know how horrifying that is in the camera, but Scrido. Alright. I probably could have put this in like a bowl with like thumbtacks, because it's the low end is not being removed from the headphones. It's just being converted into signal sent to this so that it vibrates my wrist. And it's too intense, and it feels unnatural. When I first got it, I used it for about 2 days, and I understand what it's doing. The problem I have is that there's only one on my left or right wrist. If you want this system to sort of work, for sort of giving you that a sensation of low end, one wrist doesn't cut it. For $200, I should give you 2. Or for $250, I should give you 2. Some low amount of money. Because while I get that it's like, oh, it's a sensation, you know, you can feel it's a physical shaking. I think it would work almost better if it was just something to put in your pocket. You know, something this size that you just pop in your pocket would vibrate. And then you could pop it out and charge your phone with it. I think that would work better. So it works in the sense that while playing music, it's going do it. It's actually feels like it's got too many frequencies in it. If I hold this to my ear, I could hear guitar riffs that I shouldn't be hearing in a subwoofer. And the more you put up this volume, the more it puts the signal through this, the louder this gets. So, is it worth $200? It's a bit of a gimmick. I'm glad I got to try one, but I'm glad I didn't buy one. How's that? What else we got? And this will get its own review. Don't worry, this does not count as a review for this this thing. The Shanling 1. Last Starfighter. Let's put up the intensity. Let's go berserk. Kill me, all the volume. In fact, we don't even have to have the headphones plugged in so we don't get a copyright infringement. All right. So yeah, it'll vibrate. And as far as how long it lasts and everything, you can check the website. I'm not going to go into grave detail. I just wanted to get this review out. And now... I guess that's kind of cool. You need to get two of them. Connect one through the other. So you'd have double this, and then you'd have both wrists. And then I think it would be an interesting experience. There's one is just, it bothers me. So let's shut it off. I think you hold... Oh, I think it shuts off automatically. I don't think you can power it off. I mean, you can lower it down all the way. But pretty sure it's still on. Yeah, it's still on. All right. I love that. I love that little system. Little Shanling works great. Moving on. Other things I want to talk about. Ground loop isolators. If you're one of those people who has Ship 9500s, Fidelio X1s, X2s, anything that can use a 3mm pass-through, you're probably looking at the Boom Pro, the V-Motor Boom Pro. And when you plug into your onboard audio, that's fine, because you plug the microphone and the headphones into the same unit, because the ground wire that comes off of the Boom Pro is shared for the microphone and the headphones. The problem is when you have external amplifiers and things like this, you have to separate it. You have to plug the microphone into something with a microphone input, because none of those have it. And you plug the headphones into that, and because the grounds are now in different places, even though they're shared in the wire, you get a loud buzz. So something like this can fix that. The problem with and by the way, this is not the wire it came with. It's the exact same size and shape. It's just, I don't know where that one is. So this is the one from a Chromecast. So you just literally put this in line, not with the microphone, unfortunately, but you have to put it in line with the headphones. And it will get rid of the hum and the buzz. But what it's doing in here will affect the sound quality. And actually, in one of my other videos, I ended up buying one of this for $20 because it says high-end ground isolator. Same job as the MPAL, just RCA terminals, so I don't have to go 3.5mm to whatever I'm plugging in. And when I plugged it in my living room, oh, did it strip the life and soul out of the goddamn music. May not be the same for your headphones. There's a lot of different things going on. This is how you get rid of that, or you just have to not use an external amp DAC, or you have to not use a Boom Pro. It's sad days. Sad days. They make good ground loop isolators. They're like $80 to $100 because you need giant transformers to keep the sound quality. Let's move that over. I'm just going to keep that figure there because it was awesome for like $40. Monogatari series is the best series ever. Okay. They're going to get a surprise when they figure out I linked this. Gatekeeper. So this is a USB key. You plug it in to your computer, and I think it'll work on any computer. And this goes in your keychain. And basically, while this is plugged in, anytime you're a certain distance away, which you can set, it'll lock your computer. I took it to a LAN and I used this. I actually used this thing. And it works. You have to set a password. I usually don't set passwords on my like home computer if I'm just home around it. But if you're at a LAN, it makes fucking sense to lock your shit. And I think I set it for like 25 meters because I want to be able to get up and walk to my neighbor and have my computer locking and unlocking. It'll unlock also when you get close. But yeah, and you could change the battery out in this. It does what it says it does. My only problem was it kept updating constantly every time. Or when I was home and I kept this plugged in and just do testing in the house, it was like, yep, locking. I just shoved this against it and I'm like, I gotta defeat you. So, interesting little piece of kit right there. I said kit. I'm British now. Kilowatt. If you don't have one of these, go get one of these. Because it tells you how many watts your whatever is using. I got a power strip, 16 outlets on the back of this, and I had this plugged into the wall and that plugged into this. And I would just, you know, if I'm running my laptop and the tube amp and the air, everything on it was like 300 watts. And I'm like, Jesus, that's where my money's going. So it's good to have one of these to know what is actually happening. And you can leave it plugged in all the time. It doesn't matter. And just leave it on wattage and it'll show you. Could that beeped. I'm a bit of an Anchor fanboy. Anchor card reader, Anchor little mini thing, which I tried to use this for something else. Like I tried to use this for not charging a phone, and it has this IQ system, so it detected it wasn't a phone and it kept shutting off. So that sort of sucks. But these two Anchors, this is the one I've had this for over a year. You can see it's just a mess, and it's a big, infinite power bastard. Where are the buttons? And this is a more recent acquisition. This one has two, by the way, two outputs and one micro input. And this one has one output and one micro input. And this is only, I could charge my phone 2.5, 3 times on this. I just like Anchor stuff. It's never let me down. Nothing they've ever made. Maybe one USB like 7-port thing had a little bit of an issue, but nothing else. Audio Quest Jitterbug. When this came out, people were up in arms. What is that? Stop it. It just doesn't exist. But so I bought the Hi-Fi Me DIY equivalent of 5,000 volt USB cleaner. And I've run them both. And I recently, very recently, had a problem hooking up to this, something to this system. I forget, what was it? That was getting ground, it was a ground loop. It was like something that these things should be fixing. The sound of a computer going, you could hear it. Neither one of those helped. Just not. And actually, the Hi-Fi Me one, if you put, because it's just a USB in and then another USB out that's you plug your X. I'll plug this into some audio equipment and it will just literally not work. This will light up, the unit will get power, it won't transmit data. So Jitterbug didn't have that problem. I didn't try it. I've had this thing for months. I've had this thing for a couple weeks, and I haven't like sat around going, oh, I gotta try all my stuff with this. Because if you don't notice a problem with your USB and noise and disconnect issues, why you're bothering with either one of these? I would like to try the weird, I think it's the weird, which is a USB power cleaner, and see if that would stop a ground loop, a USB ground loop. But it's too expensive to just, even with the Patreon money, unless you ask me in the comments and there's like 35, 40 upvotes, yes, we want to know if the shit weird works, I'm not going to bother. That's a right angle 3.5 millimeter. These are great. You should always have one. Back to power for a second. Always charge your phone with the lowest power possible, whenever possible. Nobody seems to grasp that. Batteries don't like quick charge. They don't. It's like if you had to like walk to the bathroom at a fucking Usain Bolt sprint run every time. At some point you're going to stub your toe on the goddamn banister, or you're going to step on a leg. You're going to be fucked. So I keep the cheap Google 1 amp chargers, and if I'm going to bed at night, I plug my phone in, and it slowly comes back over a period of 6 hours. I bought this because I was at my sister's place, and she had one for her phone, and it was the first time ever that I saw my phone actually light up and say, quick charge enabled. And I've had my phone for nearly 3 years. And I was like, what? And sure enough, this put 50% charge in my phone in like 28 minutes. However, my phone's old, and that pretty much broke its hip. It died. That charge to full was gone, and then for 3 weeks I was nursing my battery because it would die at like 41%. It would just be like 42%, 40% off. So be careful. I'll link this. If you've got a brand new phone and you want to destroy it, this will do 3.6 volts to 6.5 volts at 3 amp, all the way up to 9 volts to 12 volts at 1.5 amp, out of only a USB. Out of only a USB. And I'm going to use this when I review the SAP 9 coming up, because that's a USB powered thing. To cover everything here. Now, in the description of this video, there's going to be 2 videos linked that are not public, that I made a long time ago. One will be random little shit that I've done before, and I forgot the gatekeeper in that video, and I felt real bad, and I just never released it. It's just this unpublished, like 8-month-old video in the description called Random Things. The other video there, which sucks that it's unreleased, was for this. This is the Fleerk. And the problem with that video, and the reason why it's not released, is because when I reviewed this. And now, Shinobu up here is holding the new Fleerk. And the Fleerk is basically an infrared receiver for your computer. You plug it in. When I do my reviews for speakers in the living room, when I pick up my Vizio remote, and I start messing with foobar, that's because I've got one of these plugged into my living room PC. So I could use it to control. The review for this is in the description. And the problem is, this new one doesn't pick up remotes the same, and therefore the remote I use from my Emotiva doesn't, it works, but it doesn't like repeat. So I was like, oh shit, I can't tell people. So at least now you know. If you can get one of the old ones, it'll work with a couple of remotes differently than it does with the new one. But I mean, look, I got one over. Wait, this is the one I keep on my Windows 10 laptop. This is an extra one that I got because I had to get it, because I had to see if my shit was fucked up. And I got another one on my living room computer. I just kept buying them because they're great. It is just any remote control you want to pick up, any old VCR, Laserdisc, DVD remote that you're like, you know what, this has got cool buttons and I want to use it to control my computer. You buy a Fleerk, it'll be this one, it won't be that one. You see if when you load the program and you just go like, play, pause, this button, stop, this button. It's great. Full review of that, knowing that the remote that I use in that review, God, this thing is heavy too. Won't do it. But I think I've covered Yes. I've covered all my bases. I'm gonna go watch The Expanse now. Or anime. Or The Expanse, but in anime form would be great. And honestly, it's because the story is that good. Alright. Links in the description for all this shit. 2 video links. Unreleased little baby things that I should have done months and months ago. This. Months and months ago. And wallpapers. And Patreon there, because let me see what Lisa, that was sent to me. That was sent to me. This I bought. This I bought. These I bought. Those I bought. Yeah, Patreon helps pay for a lot of this little bullshit. I just gotta try it, and I might as well make a review about it and move on.